What do people think of GTA the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, 1 year later? That is what we're going to be taking a look at today. Yes, today, November 11th. Well, actually, it's August 19th at the time of filming. I'm recording this months in advance. But today we're going to see what people think about GTA Trilogy 1 year later after its initial release. And let me just say, oh my god, that launch for it was terrible. It was really buggy. I never got to play that launch. I bought it like a month later at Christmas time. And you know what? I played through GTA 3. At the start of the year, I'm going to be playing through Vice City and San Andreas soon. But yeah, I'm going to see how it looks like or what other people think a year later. So here's what I mean. So GTA Trilogy launch. If we scroll back up, whoa, actually, yeah, we'll see how people think about it now. So GTA Trilogy suffers the worst launch since Cyberpunk 2077. No, thank you. I'm only using you for this video. Thank you. I don't care, John Scott. I don't care. GTA Trilogy suffers the worst launch since Cyberpunk 2077. Wow. Published on November 14th, 2021. The GTA Trilogy remasters this year's Cyberpunk 2077. I hope to God that we never get another buddy game. I mean, obviously we have buddy games at launch because, no game has ever came out completely perfect and ironed out with bugs. This time a year ago, gamers were soon over the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 had been delayed yet again. It would eventually emerge on December 10th in such a sorry state that Sony ended up pulling it from the PlayStation Store. That's a whole different. I think I did that video before, where they pulled it. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. If I didn't, I'll record it, even though it's like a year later. Well, the state the game launched in was inexcusable. There were at least mitigating circumstances due to the limitation of last-gen consoles and the sheer scope of the game. See, this is where Gotham Knights comes into play here, and you're probably thinking, Kaki, why do you bring Gotham Knights into every damn video? I'm doing it because guess what? It's a new game coming out this year. And this is probably why they canceled the Xbox One and PS4 version, so be happy. The same can be said for the remastered GTA Trilogy released last week, which has been released with so many problems that dealing with refund requests became the Rockstar support Twitter account's main duty in the last few days. Again, I bought it on Series S. I don't know exactly what glitches there were. I mean, obviously there's going to be glitches in a video game at launch, but still. And mind you, the pre-order, it got announced beginning at the very start of October last year. Got the pre-orders at the very end of the month, and then it came out mid-November, so there was only like 2-3 weeks to pre-order the game. So, GTA Trilogy now with weird new character models. While some of the new light effects are genuinely impressive, I agree, the character models are just why can't I speak? Are just bizarre in places with a look not a million miles away from Nintendo's Mii's. Look at how these two have changed, for example. I don't want to click on this because I don't know what it is. Or what happened to Denise? So parts of the GTA Trilogy remaster are stellar. That's about what happens when characters ride a bicycle better. Suffice to say, it compares extremely unfavorably to the ground-up remake of Mafia put out by 2K Games for the Zot. How much more popular GTA is as a franchise. What happened to Rockstar, guys? Do you guys remember how good Rockstar Games used to be? Like, I wasn't old enough to play GTA 5 when it came out. I was only 8 when it was released. But still, it had an amazing launch. Sure, it wasn't, the best game in the world for kids and adults to be playing, but still, it's a pretty good game. And weird-looking rain which mysteriously stops as soon as you reach any body of water. Alright. My ads for Part 1 GTA Grand Theft San Andreas Expanded Edition. Do you guys remember do you guys remember at the start of the channel I tried to do a GTA San Andreas thing on my phone and for some reason stopped? Yeah, I don't know why. I can't remember why I did that. I kind of got attacked and I got angry. And then I just stopped filming the series. GTA Trilogy Super Shoddy Switch port. The Nintendo Switch version of GTA Trilogy is especially bad, featuring all of the problems seen elsewhere alongside weaker graphics and performance issues At the time of writing, the Switch version has a user score of 0.6/10. It didn't even get a 1 on Metacritic, thanks to a frame rate that dipped into the low 20 FPS range and went in areas of heavy traffic. Oh my god, Rockstar, what are you doing to this game? So I think I paid like 50, 60 bucks for this, and you know what, I think it's okay. I haven't played this in a while. I literally installed San Andreas because it was on Game Pass, played it, and then I stopped. When lost, dynamic resolution scaling makes it look like a blurry mess, possibly dipping as low as 480p at times, and cars have a habit of appearing from nowhere due to the lack of weight draw distance. On the surface, strange that seems mad. After all three games appeared on the PS2, and the Switch has easily managed to cope with titles from that era in the past, from Resident Evil 4 to Devil May Cry 3. Arguably, the moves to the Unreal Engine and the Advanced Lighting are too much for the hardware, but given it can just about run The Witcher 3, it does feel like optimizations just weren't taken ahead of launch. It's to take into account that God knows that this project's been worked on for like only a few months. These games already existed prior to it, so all they really did was just download it, upgrade the graphics, and made some better character models, and that's probably about it. GTA Trilogy can be fixed. All of this would have been so bad if Rockstar had pulled the original versions of the game from the various digital stores and shut down fan remake projects ahead of launch. Okay, I'm against Rockstar on this one. I'm against them for this. You know, they're doing their best to make the games look the best they could, and Rockstar just shut it down and charged us like 80 bucks for the completely destroyed remake. Yeah. It took CD Projekt Red a good 6 months to bring Cyberpunk 2077 up to something approaching the state it should have been at launch. It should not take a gaming company that's been working on a game for like 10 years now. It should not take them that long. It should have been it should have been okay at the start. There should have been little to no budget in the game. I'm not saying there shouldn't be any budget at all. I just contradicted myself. But still, you get what I mean. There should be at least some budget still in the game, but not enough to ruin people's experiences and make the company give up hundreds of dollars in refunds. But that's by no means guaranteed, given the big difference between the type of CD Projekt needed Cyberpunk to sell well in order to justify the years of investment. Rockstar, meanwhile, has already made billions for the original GTA trilogy. Let me make this clear. They released GTA the trilogy on PS2. I believe they released it on PS3, Xbox 360, PC, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series. And mind you, the Xbox Series and PS5 and Xbox One versions didn't exist prior to last year, so Jesus, Rockstar. With that in mind, joining the TOP people demanding a refund may be the best way of reminding the decision makers at Rockstar that reputational damage matters. Yeah, it probably should matter to a lot of people. I would like to keep my reputation good. I made a fair point to use common sense when needed, so. Alright, so US 14. Alright, so these are all just GTA prices. Alright. Playing the GTA Trilogy in order, I'm doing that as well on the channel. I'm gonna probably be playing GTA Trilogy in 2023, the other half at least. Then Grand Theft Auto Vice City released a year later. Vice City added new vehicles, water that looks like water, not dry sludge, and a voiced protagonist. Alright, so now there's no actual 1 year later article, because mind you, I am recording this in August. This is going up in November, so it's going up in like a few months. GTA Trilogy is my worthy imagery of Rockstar games. Yeah. The GTA Trilogy was one of the most hyped games of 2021. I have to agree. I was there. I saw all the videos that were made about it. And its release date was a day of infamy. It quickly became the worst reviewed game in the series, which was a far cry from the original free titles. Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas. All of those titles were beloved for their time. Thankfully, the modern era has patches that could fix some of the game's egregious flaws. In truth, some of those patches helped, but they didn't fix every problem that fans had with the game. Last patch was on February 28th, 2022, which was several months ago. Rockstar hasn't announced any upcoming patches, so it seems that the game is as good as it will get. Some past patches fixed some of the game's most notorious problems, such as way too much rain to the point where it was an eyesore to look at, some frame rate issues, various texture and spelling mistakes, the invisible bridge, making old Reese old again, stability improvements. Only a few, yeah. The game sold exceptionally well, even if there was many refunds. I wasn't one of the refunds. I bought it digitally and I still own it. Anybody who bought the game at its release date should know that it's substantially better now than it was back then. I haven't played the game in months, so I don't know. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a must-buy for Grand Theft Auto fans. There are still multiple problems with the game, such as a myriad of bugs that were prevalent in the original free titles. These problems can range from minor issues such as rain unrealistically following the flare to major misgivings. Yeah. All the games have several improvements now compared to at its launch. It's worth noting that the launch was critically panned by many. Going from atrocious to mediocre is a vast improvement, but not one that makes it a must-buy title. Will Rockstar release more patches for the GTA Trilogy? As of May 13, 2022, there aren't any leaks or official announcements confirming the existence of future patches for the GTA Trilogy. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick made the following statement back in early February. We definitely had some quality issues. We have more updates coming, and as always, our goal is to release only the highest quality of products. If we fall short, it's terribly disappointing for all of us. We did fall short on that, and we've begun to address it, and we're happy that we began to address it. There's more work that needs to be done. There is one patch after the statement, and the second sentence does state updates. However, it's in one sentence information, and there's been no further news on the GTA Trilogy since the last update in late February. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that was the GTA Trilogy 1 year later video. I know it's technically not a year at the time of filming, but by the time this shows up, it'll be like the 1 year anniversary of the game releasing. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you did like it, please leave a like, subscribe, and goodbye.